Healthy You on KFDX is brought to you by United Regional. You're watching KFDX3 News in HD.
We've all seen the Life Alert commercials with the phrase, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up." And the reality is it can happen to anyone.
In this evening's Healthy You, two of United Regional's finest talk about fall prevention and what to do if you do lose your balance.
It's a balancing act to stay healthy.
I think that being honest with themselves about deficits they're seeing as they get older and being evaluated and addressing those with their primary care physician is a primary way to address and prevent falls.
United Regional's Trauma Medical Director Alan Coleman says 1 out of every 3 to 4 people in the elderly population, so 65 and older, fall each year. He says if they fall, they're 2 to 3 times more likely to fall again in the same year.
Not all traumatic injuries happen as a result of falls. However, out of those falls, about 1 in 5 or so actually leads to a traumatic injury. And by traumatic injury, I mean hip fractures and traumatic brain injuries, which are the highest injury incidents.
Now, if you do take a fall, don't panic.
If they fall and they're conscious, the first thing that I would recommend is evaluating themselves to see if they hurt anywhere in particular. If certain things hurt, then try not to move. If they feel comfortable at that point, then crawling to a stable surface to help assist themselves in getting up is helpful. Carrying your cell phone around the house is always helpful because then it gives them easy access wherever they land to be able to call for help.
The risk of falling comes from many things. Maybe it's a change in blood pressure and heart rate, or it could be your balance.
Balance is not just one thing or another. It's a multitude of things that lead to it. So if anyone feels like they are unsafe or that they might fall, oftentimes anxiety will make people do less, which is counterproductive to their long-term stability.
Less isn't more in this case. Director of Rehabilitation, Wound Care, and Sports Medicine Services, Travis Newberry, says keeping active ensures you can stand on your own 2 feet.
The most common misconception is if I feel dizzy or less stable, then just do less and I'll be okay. But that just simply means your system gets less and less used to the challenges. So I've seen patients that are elderly who have poor balance. I've seen people who are not elderly who have poor balance. And inversely, I've seen very elderly patients with great balance. And those, almost to the one, if an elderly person has great balance, they always are very active.
Balance has to do with vision, your inner ear, and how you view your foot in relation to the ground. If you notice changes in these things or your body strength, it's time for a doctor's visit.
If you start to notice that you're having some weakness, evaluation by your primary care physician or seeing a physical therapist are helpful because they can recommend certain medical devices like walkers and canes to help with mobility. Also, sometimes weakness in the lower extremities in particular are sometimes a result of not using those muscles, and so they can recommend strengthening exercises.
The more you move, the better your balance and the lower your risk of falling. United Regional's Transition Clinic on 11th Street has information pamphlets that focus on topics like fall prevention and staying active.